Stay up out the way, don't get your dish splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Into the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Bleachers to Speakers. We got some breaking news. As we talked about on Saturday, the Lions are cutting down, the entire NFL is cutting down on their rosters to get to the 53-man limit. And we got some breaking news on a couple cuts. Nothing that is overly surprising, but some interesting developments going on right now. I'm sharing the screen if you're watching on the visual side of things, but we have some updates on a couple guys that have been released already. We have Anthony Pittman, reserve linebacker, formerly went to Wayne State. He's kind of been in and out of the fold as far as the Lions are concerned, but mostly in a reserve role because of injuries. But he's been waived. Tom Kennedy, a player that has been a practice squad staple for the last few years, so he'll likely go unclaimed and possibly come back as a practice squad player. We got Hendon Hooker, no surprise there. They've officially released him. Mitchell Agude, who's a defensive lineman, I want to say he mostly plays edge rusher, didn't really jump out or stand out at all during the preseason. Ian Kennelly, he is a Grand Valley former player. He plays safety, and we kind of knew that he was going to be on the fringe of possibly getting, possibly making the team, but no surprise there. Next we have Dan Skipper, probably the biggest name and probably the biggest surprise. I don't think there was a lot of rumors I feel like there wasn't a lot of rumors or talks about him being waived. He's a kind of a depth guy on the offensive line. I mean, you look at his numbers, it's really not all that surprising. His PFF rating was around the 40-50 range. So not great numbers, but as a veteran, he's been around, he's 30 years old, and they've chosen to move on from him, which is interesting considering how, we have some inexperience at the offensive line position, but it appears they are going to go younger at that position. And then another pretty interesting one is Jackson Meeks. He had a very good preseason. I don't think he had any catches in his final game of the preseason, but all in all, he had a very strong preseason. I'm going to try to pull up his numbers real quick and let you guys know what he did. He had 11 catches, 176 yards, and 2 touchdowns, which was good for a 16-yard average per reception. He's an undrafted free agent out of Syracuse, Za'Darius Smith's nephew, and it appears that his efforts in preseason were not enough, and in practice were not enough to make the team. But he's another guy that should possibly go untouched. I mean, I think that if teams were really paying attention, they might, his performance may have jumped out at them, and they may take a chance with him. But I think that was one of the tough decisions that Dan Campbell, was hoping that he would fall through, and so that we could get him back at the practice squad level. So as it looks right now, with Tom Kennedy and Jackson Meeks both out, it looks like so we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Isaac Tesla, Tim Patrick makes it through so far, and Khalif Raymond. They haven't said anything about Ronnie Bell as of yet. So I don't know. Hold on, let's look and see who else is left. There's a couple of receivers that Jackson Meeks has outperformed. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Ronnie Bell. Who else? Yeah, or Jacoby Keeney James. I mean, there's no way that Ronnie Bell or Jacoby Keeney James make the team as well. So maybe that cut just hasn't been announced yet. But yeah, Jackson Meeks was a bit of a surprise. Let's see what comments we have here. Jackson Meeks and Dan Skipper, dang, hope both can survive waivers. Yeah. I think that the announcement for Ronnie Bell and Jacoby Keeney James just haven't been announced yet. But all things considered, outside of Isaac Tesla, Jackson Meeks has had the best preseason. So we'll see. Dan Skipper. I mean, Dan Skipper's kind of like a fan favorite guy. He's got 6'9". He's been a part of the team for quite some time, and he'll always go down in infamy for the Cowboys game. But also Malik Taylor is another guy that hasn't been announced as well. So I think there's some guys that they are just looking to clear waivers and come back before. Yeah, they're just looking for them to clear waivers and come back. But we will see. If you guys remember correctly, Tim Patrick was a player that was waived by the Denver Broncos, and the Lions picked him up off waivers. So there's always a possibility that a team could do the same. He says, yeah, for undrafted free agent, Jackson Meeks had the best performance. Proved he was more than just a bait to get his uncle. Yeah, exactly. Of course, his name is always attached to Zadarius Smith. So I don't know if there's any indication or how Mr. Smith is taking that, but we will have to see. Dan Campbell made it apparent that we are paying attention to other rosters. If there's another player that comes available that we think can help us right away, we are keeping our eyes out for that. So I don't think that we're in the market to find a receiver on waivers. I think we're pretty stacked and solid along that front, but it does not eliminate the possibility that we may not go out and find an edge rusher that gets released, or another offensive lineman that's more capable than Dan Skipper at this point. So there's a number of different things that can happen. The deadline is tomorrow, so there's still some moves yet to be made. As you can see, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that have been cut. So we're not even close to hitting that 53 player mark as of yet. So there's more news to be announced. Stay tuned. If anything major happens, I'll go live again. But subscribe to the channel. This is we just kind of got these announcements not too long ago, so this is fresh off the press. But subscribe on our audio aggregators at Bleachers and Speakers as well. And we're going to give you another show recapping at some point tomorrow when everything is official. He said, but still could use a defensive end, especially now that Hendrickson is officially off the market and Ahmed is unknown. Yeah, you're right about that. We could still possibly find somebody on waivers, but we will not be trading for Trey Hendrickson. He is now off the board. So stay tuned. We'll be back. I'm out.
Get your lick back. If a nugget gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting shit slide.